Hey Clashers, and welcome back to another video. And today I want to talk about the super giant and witch strategy, which is out there now, and a lot of people are using it. Well, do you remember this situation where Alternate and the Unicorns of Love last weekend used in the world's warm-up this strategy? And right after this, I know that a lot of people were picking up on this, and I tried to rank this strategy. I ranked it into A tier. I was never that wrong. Like, oh my goodness. Obviously, sometimes there are like small tweaks to the strategy. And I was deciding in between of A and B tier. And, well, we have now the super witches. Now we have the witches and the super giants. And I have never been as wrong in the ranking as I think. This strategy 100% deserves at least S tier. And it is just insane how powerful this is. And today we're using it in Legend. Trying to throw it in there. Later on, if you want to copy the army composition, I'm going to use 2 more freezes instead of the rage in the RAM or like in the lock launcher. But either way, let's get started. Let's take a look at the first base. First off, what do you look for when taking a look at the lightnings? You're looking for scatters, multi-inferno towers, overall just like splash damage. That's your main target. And on this one, we want to try to create some funnel as well. So what we're doing, we're using the lightnings onto scatter, X-bow, cannon, bomb tower, air defense, take down the entire bottom side of this base. And with this, we're creating a nice pathing, which especially in ring base is really important. So something is going for the town hall. The next thing is pretty easy. Like, just put all of the super giants down, put all of the witches down, and have some fun. Because, trust me, the base builder and the defender won't have fun when you guys are using the strategy. This is the easiest. This is the most powerful strategy right now, I think, in the game. It is even easier to execute than the 8 Earthquake super wizard strategy. And it's just like super simple. It's witches and super giants. And you can see it perfectly right there. I used the Royal Champ early because I want to find on the 3 o'clock side. So normally you can delay here a little bit more. But for me, everything is going to the core, looking really good. Then obviously now the warden ability to make sure everything is surviving their town hall. And with having so many single inferno towers in the core, that's obviously a great thing. Later on, especially like higher up than Legends, you're going to face more often multi-inferno towers, but that's still no problem. Trust me, I will show you guys a couple of more attacks. This so far is looking really good. The king, the witches, everything, like, you can see how, like, it's such an overkill. The next thing about the strategy, which I really like personally, is really hard to time fail. It's really hard to time fail because you're sending everything in from the beginning, so your damage per second overall is really high. And that's like the important thing about this strategy, that, well, time is not an issue overall. So you can take time a little bit with your lightnings if you have to rethink your options. But either way, for this attack, we can see how many witches are still alive. The wizard tower is the last defense going down. I think from this point on, it's only cleanup time. So I think we can skip that a little bit more. We do not have to wait for every single builder to go down. But this was the first base, was like a ring-based type of ring-based style. And yeah, let's just get to the next base. And this one is like a tricky one, okay? So, for example, obviously we have now 3 multi-inferno towers, which this is your nightmare, obviously. So what we do with the base like this. So next thing, what I like to do, I think the most dangerous defense, even if you have the option between of inferno towers and scatters, I think a scatter shot is always the most dangerous defense you can face. So I want to take that down. I'm deciding to go for the bottom side because I can take down the warden, the wizard tower, and the scatter over there. On the top side, I could have just damaged the queen a little bit, and that's kind of it. So obviously then like splitting off the lightnings a little bit more, making sure the cannon is damaged as well. Then a few giants to tank at the bottom side, and then do the same on the other side. This I'm using the king. I'm trying to funnel the king into the compartment because I want to like make sure the path and like the flank is not too wide. And you can see it's working perfectly. We're letting the king walk into the base. Now obviously the lock launcher and everything, trying to wall break a little bit as well. You can always use the wall breaks. You should not always rely on your lock launcher to open up the first walls, because if you're waiting up too long, your troops are getting distracted, like splitting to the outside. And that's not what you want to have. So sometimes you just want to have the wall breakers opening up the entry into the core. I have the rage in this one still. I have to say, if you try to copy this army, if you try this army on your own, use the 2 more freezes, because whenever you're facing any splash damage, you just don't care. You have 6 freezes overall, and this means your troops just won't die. I mean, it's 6 freezes. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, that, this is a ton of time where the defenses have no chance to defend themselves, and especially when you go into teaser bases and the town halls on the further back. Having 6 freezes, trust me, is really helpful, especially on teaser bases. We have a lot of stacked defenses around the town hall, so you can freeze the town hall most of the time and expo and scatter all together, which is huge value, obviously. So having this possibility is huge. And you can see it right there. It's once again a rushing overkill. And even if this base would have been completely maxed out, no difference. But now let's take a look at a clan war attack, which I did. So I thought, okay, this clan war looking interesting. And we have a max base, anti 3-star style base. I'm using it from this time on like the 6 freezes because it's just so much stronger. We tried a couple of times in a stream, and that's what it looks like. So first off, on this base, we can lightning and scatter and inferno tower on multi. This is like one of the best things you can go for lightning wise, and it's giving you a ton of options, obviously. So right after that, since you're using the lock launcher, you never want to go into the town hall, which makes the strategy kind of risky. But with bringing so many freezes, most of the time you just don't care. Now the wall breaks, just to make sure that everything can enter the base. I'm not wall breaking into the 9 o'clock compartment because I feel like we don't need to get in there. The top side, though, I want to get in there to make sure the pathing and the funneling, everything is set. Now the heroes into that compartment, taking down the enemy heroes nice and early. The logs are rolling. The logs should easily open up the entire core for us. The top side, we can see the super giants and everything getting into that compartment. Should clear out that compartment pretty easily. And the great thing about this is if there are super giants stuck in a compartment, with their ability of like punching walls so easily and getting through walls so easily, it is really great because most of the time you're just like getting through the next wall like really easy with them. So that's a great thing about them as well. If you're asking yourself, why would you use super giants and not like ice golems or golems? So that's why using the super giants. And now I'm just like, I have 4 freezes left. I'm just keep freezing that town. That town hall won't be able to shoot my troops. Not at all. Like, I'm just freezing up every single back-end Inferno Tower or like back-end town hall, whatever. And just make sure that nothing can shoot my witches or like nothing can shoot my queen or like back-end troops. I haven't used the Royal Chain ability on the left side. She already was placed down there. Normally, you should save the wizard for cleanup, but to be honest, like I said, I never had a time phase so far with this strategy. So I feel like putting this wizard sometimes down early is a nice, more powerful option to funnel. Either way, now the backing with the Tesla farm, we don't care. We swarm this base. This base has no chance in the world to somehow defend this. And this strategy, it's such a bad joke. I don't know how this attack strategy was not used in the last, or was not used too often. Don't get me wrong. I know that a couple of you already used this strategy, but I mean, it is. Take a look. This is a maxed out base. This is so crazy. Now let's use one more time the strategy in Legend with the 6 free spell composition. And once again, we have the pretty classic ring base, I would say. The nice thing about ring bases is that most of the time the core is really compact, so we can use nice lightnings over there. So let's use the lightnings for the scatter and the Inferno Tower. That would be great value right there. And I do not want to lightning the eagle because I need the eagle to stay alive to make sure that the eagle is kind of like taking or like luring in my troops. So I've just used the lightnings and not the earthquake onto that one. And now I have to rethink, where do we enter? And I'm entering at the top left side. First off, like I said, wall break in. Make sure my troops have access into the base. That's the important part now. And now, once again, just like spread out the super giants. Put the lock launcher behind. Put in the witches as well. And that's it. That's it. From this point on, I have placed every single troop in my army. Except the Royal Champion, I have to say that. Except the Royal Champion. But other than that, I just have to kind of wait and make sure everything is going to the town direction. Obviously, the first freeze was pretty impressive, missing both Scatter and Town Hall. But now the next freezes are fine. The Sneaky Goblins. You should always put Yetis and Sneaky Goblins into your siege barracks. Into your lock launcher, with this army composition, taking down the town nice and easy. Now we have a bit of a split, so our troops are at the top, our troops are at the bottom, our troops are everywhere, which is totally fine because we have so many witches, and there is spawning troops, and keep spawning troops, and the defenses are keep hitting the skeletons, and have no chance to like answer. And just keep freezing whatever is dangerous to my heroes on the back end. We could be freezing all of the expos together, but I don't know. I'm just freezing it. I think the next freeze is going to be on all of them. But either way, like you can see once again, there are so many witches on the right side alive. I have 2 freezes left. First freeze onto now everything. Finally, I figured out that I could freeze everything. But still, another freeze. And I mean, come on, like this is such a crazy strategy. So if you want to use an easy strategy in the game, if you want to use a powerful strategy in the game, use the strategy, abuse it, and just have some fun, I guess. Meanwhile, the base builders won't have fun. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys back tomorrow for the next one. And then, until then, see ya and bye-bye.